It's now a year since Kenyans took to the streets to protest the Finance Bill 2024, a protest which resulted into the unfortunate deaths of young Kenyans. And this year, on the 25th of June, Kenyans are taking to the streets to commemorate the deaths of these young heroes. However, there are some reports, as seen in the Standard newspaper, that are saying that there are goons who have been hired to infiltrate these peaceful demonstrations. We get to sit down with the Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi, Mr. Haggai Thenye, as we discuss the implications of goons infiltrating such a peaceful protest, and also what is it that will take for justice to be served to these families who lost their young Kenyans. And before that, kindly subscribe to our channel if you haven't, so that you can grow together and also to get this and much more conversations. Sasa Speaker,
okay.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Another week tumepatana tena.
Precisely.
How has the week been? You look healthy from the outside.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You know, as a human being, you must try to be physically stable, emotionally, and also mentally. Because God created us in His own image.
Yeah.
So we must try as human beings to be strong.
True.
And also to try our strongness also to tell also our people. Yeah, those who are around you, whom you see are mentally disturbed, emotionally disturbed, and also physically, you can advise them on what to do. Because as human being, stability is very, very important in all spheres of our life.
So let's get into it. Because the country right now, we're at a time when there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of political instability. There's a lot of tension among people. Maybe with the event of tomorrow, the June, I'm sure when this will be airing, it will be airing tomorrow, now, June 25th. Why is there tension in the country? Is it because of the day? Because the demonstrations are tomorrow, the protests are tomorrow, the marking, the commemoration of the youths that were killed during the last finance bill protests. But there have been a lot of tension. Is it because it's done on the same day, or is it because of the previous protests for the Albert Ojwang, demanding justice for Albert Ojwang?
Well, first and foremost, my condolences, or rather heartfelt commiserations to those who lost their loved ones, and those who are disabled, and also those who are grieved, and to our nation at large. Going to your point, I think this anniversary, the first anniversary of 25th June 2024 victims, I think has been hijacked by evil forces. Because you find there are some people who are saying they will march to State House, a restricted area. There are also people who are genuine demonstrators. We also have people who are grieving, and I'm very much impressed by the Catholic Church and the Anglican Church for hosting the bereaved families in their churches and praying for them, and also financial support which was conducted. I'm very much delighted with that. So one thing I just want to tell Kenyans, demonstrations nowadays have been so much artificial, in the sense that you find that people with no good intention have come in, and this thwart the vision and mission of demonstration. And that is why you find many people tend to be away. So bearing tomorrow, we thought that it will be something that will nini with the bereaved family. But you see some people saying we will march to State House. They will know who are we. So you know, currently, even if you look around, people are closing businesses. The hotel is not doing well. I've been awake since 4 p.m. The economy is not doing well. The hotel industry, they are closing. Some people are even removing their stock from Central Business District. Very unfortunate, because this thing also affects us. Even the tourists are fearful. Why are police with their gears, with the rungus in the street? So tension everywhere. It affects us both internationally. It portrays Kenya as an unsafe area. So I just want to urge youths, the problems which we are fighting for can be sorted when we have a dialogue. And I also want to urge the government, it must also come out and listen to the people. And the people must also give the government. So it should be a mutual kind of understanding between the people, because you cannot just say we will push. have they put their agenda, which they want to be fulfilled? And we find that some agendas have been fulfilled. So we want to urge people through using our platform that let us spearhead this issue of a mutual understanding to one another. We know these people, they must also have where to reach, and also us. The freedom, where your freedom finishes is where someone else starts. So that is the bone of contention, understanding one another, so that we avoid this instability, because currently businesses are not doing well, and also everything has stopped following the issue of tomorrow, which could have been so peaceful in commemorating and also showing love to people who succumbed to that skirmishes.
If you have a wedding, baby shower, birthday party, or even a corporate event and you need media services, well, look no further than Safari Lens Media Production. Safari Lens Media Production is a media company that offers editing, videography, photography, graphic design services, and also live streaming. So if you have any event, contact Safari Lens Media Production. And I promise you, what I deliver, they'll do you good. They are professional, they offer professional services, and I'm sure you'll also like it. On your point, when you say that there's some evil spirits, some evil forces, let me say, evil forces who have come into the genuine demonstrators and they're infiltrating the protests, don't you feel it's somehow, it has parallel ideologies, in that there's some people who are saying there's some goons who have been brought into these peaceful demonstrations. On the other side, some people are saying that it's government agencies that are using the goons, are paying the goons to infiltrate the peaceful protests. But also there's those people who are, they're taking advantage of this and they want to loot and destroy property. Don't you feel the dialogue that you're saying, what kind of dialogue is it? Is it a political dialogue, or is it a peaceful dialogue that comes into a conclusion of ending all this brutality, or what people are demonstrating about? What kind of dialogue is needed? Is it a political dialogue? And who should be the one who's spearheading this dialogue? Because they're saying these demonstrations, they don't have a leader. Well,
first and foremost, again, the problems we have are not even political problems. They are socio-economic problems, because you find that most people in these demonstrations are youths. And today, watching online and also hearing how people do not have stable income. So I think we need to move with speed. In as much as we complain against the president, we have elected many leaders, the members of county assembly, the members of parliament, the women representative, the governor, the senator, and who have some financial also, they have allocations. We have the NGAF, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund. We have the Constituency Development Fund. The MCS have their county, their ward fund. What are they doing with this? So you find that we have a kind of socio-economic problem in our society, because Kenyans are united, but you find those who are going through extreme difficulties, economic difficulties, become vulnerable to be used by groups, certain groups, to be used by politicians to conduct mayhem in the city. So I think we must move with speed to ensure that youths are empowered by bringing kazi mtaani, by bringing this housing thing. I think that has also absorbed a good number of youths. And nowadays, even if you see the people on the streets are accountable, and like before. So I think the government must come up with both county governments and also the national government must come with how to engage the younger generation, because that is the only way we will stop this thing, so that they stop being used. And again, I just want to urge the youths, I want to urge youths to stop being used by politicians. Instead of being used, form groups and approaching them to fund your project. That will be, in a way, you are also working towards your future, because you will not be youths forever. I've been even saying that in the National People's Assembly floor. We are not going to be youths forever. And I just want to urge youths to stop being used by politicians. So the problem we have today can be socially and economically sorted. It is not a political generated problem. So one thing I just want to urge Kenyans, let us be patriotic enough not to portray our country as a war-torn area. We have a very potential country. economically, and also our GDP. I also just want to urge leaders in power to calm down and listen to what Mwananchi says, because through that will be the best way to spearhead. I think even where we are today, we shouldn't be here when people talk, when people speak, when people engage in an idea, when people are engaged in economic activity. We shouldn't even be where we are today. And therefore, we must move with speed to ensure that we conduct political and economic education so that our people, youths, are well informed. When you come together, you can do a lot. Than when you become, I earlier said that when the rogue and the rage engage in that aggression battle, then one must suffer. Yeah. And currently we have disabled people in Kenyatta Hospital who are not like that. When before the occurrence of the other times demonstration. So think of also fiscal stability, the way I said, because you cannot be productive when you are sick. And this sickness, which is artificially brought as a result of war, I think can be avoided. Can be avoided. So our youths, we have a country to protect. We have Vision 2030. When Kenya will be doing auditing, if it has achieved Vision 2030, what shall have you achieved? What shall have you achieved if you also do auditing to yourself? Because it is only through that will make you be positive enough, so that when we come again with the Vision 2063, because I know we are going also to create another vision on which areas we shall have achieved, especially infrastructure, because the economic prosperity in the current global economic architecture is not only a very extreme hurdle, but despite being an extreme hurdle, it is not an impossibility. So we must focus on how are we going to sort ourselves. And I'm very much delighted that we have platforms like Bunge la Wananchi, freedom of assembly. So Kenyans who are, you can join us. They can also see what we do on online media. We have groomed people. In my leadership, I've groomed over 100 young youths who are going for members of country. What will you do, despite not having any fund? Not having any allocation from national government? We just do it without no funding from any. I've not received any support from any politician. And through that, we can do, let us do what we like better. Whatever you are given, any task you are given, do it to the exponential or rather unprecedented level.
The Speaker. Let's now go to the main issue that is currently ongoing. In the Standard newspaper, they wrote that there's an alleged plot of the government, they have state-sponsored goons to infiltrate the peaceful protests. Do you think this is the right way to counter these demos, or is it a decision that has been arrived at based on last year's finance bill demonstrations, that if the allegations are true, then the government saw that this is a way that by bringing in these goons, they scare away the peaceful protesters and they'll stop the threats that they'll march to State House and all? Or is it something that is just propaganda to scare the people away from coming now to the streets to protest?
Well, thank you, my brother. I think the government has enormous machinery. The government has enormous machinery to execute law and order, from the National Youth Service, the General Service Unit, the National Intelligence Service, and all the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, all machinery to do. And I term that as a propaganda. A term is propaganda, which is very open. So the issue of government contracting civilians to help it execute its mandate of law and order, I think that is uncalled for. And I think they need to distinguish between government of Kenya and also politicians who are elected with the ruling party. You know, that is where the confusion is.
But the ruling party is the one that is in government, Speaker.
You must distinguish between a politician who are elected and the ruling party and the government machinery. These are different things. And therefore, I urge the media, or rather the newspaper, not to play a pivotal role in exacerbating the current instability by ensuring that they report the right thing. And just as I had said that the youths must also be very careful with the execution and not to allow themselves to be used. And I don't think the government can work with a civilian in executing their mandate. That will be a genesis of creation of gangs like that one of Haiti. Because once you use these people at a certain period of time, when you not be giving them their nini, they will know how government operates.
Yeah.
And they will form their gangs. And now terminating them will become a very difficult job. And therefore, whoever does that, I think it is not there, but whoever does that must stop with immediate effect. We have enough machinery. The government has enough machinery to ensure that peace and stability is maintained in the country. But having said that again, to youths who are also the utterances, I think also scare away business community. Just as I told you that businesses are closing up, let us also, the moral value, our morality, there's nowhere in the constitution where it talks of morality. Yeah. So I think let us maintain law and order.
Yeah.
Let each and everyone be responsible for the stability of our country. And should there be anything of that kind of using goons by the state, I think that should that's not the right way at all. That is not the right way to go. And again, I know this thing has been spearheaded by, we are in a digital world whereby it goes viral, and it plays a very pivotal role in scaring and also affecting our economic activity. So just to say that currently we are still facing the 2007-2008 post-election violence effects, economic effects. We are still facing them up now. We have not even started facing last year a Gen Z protest. It will be felt some way back. And for that matter, we must come together. And the differences, these things are just being instigated by few people at their comfort zone using computer and also their smartphone. Did rage and what?
Yeah.
So it's not the right direction. It's not the right direction. And we will only defeat it through dialogue and peace. Yeah. And ensuring that we remain genuine to our cause. When you say you will do it. Yeah. When you say you want, also be genuine with what you want. Yeah. Each and everyone must be just as I had said before.
Yeah. In your position as the Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi, I'm sure when you're there and conducting these sessions, you usually hear your members have different opinions or they air out their views on the issues affecting the country. And of course, right now, being this issue of the June 25th, now people who are watching these days protests, to the government, maybe there's someone who's in the government and is watching, how can you advise them which is the best way to solve this issue? Ili is going to a repetitive process, and also to the families that have been affected, what will justice look like for them? Which action will show them that the government cares and truly justice has been served to them as we wind up? Yeah.
Well, in the National People's Assembly, famously known as Bunge la Mwananchi, National Headquarters, our noble cause is agitating, or rather advocating for the rights of Kenyans. We don't take sides, and that is our cause. And just to say that in the National Assembly, in the National People's Assembly, people normally have different views. You find those who are protagonists and those who are antagonists. And our cause is speaking, or rather advocating, for the right of Kenyan, the Kenyan, irrespective of your level in the Maslow hierarchy of needs. That is our work. But you find, where people are, you must find also those who are radical. Yeah. So we just find a way of accommodating them because it is a people's platform. But we don't encourage incitement, or rather advocating for ideas which can put the peace and stability of our country at jeopardy. So that is what we do there. And answering you on the justice for the bereaved family, I think I thank the church, especially our old churches like the Catholic and the Anglican, and also the Pentecostal, which went to the extent of even praying for them and also doing some financial contribution, at least to cater for their economic activities and also empower the families. Though nothing can be compared with the loss of a loved one or life lost, despite how much. But I think that will keep them at a certain level so that they don't go through difficulties. So that, with that one, I want to thank the church for coming solely to do that. And also the prayers have also been led by churches. So I also want to encourage other churches to play a pivotal role. Our Council of Elders to play a pivotal role in ensuring that we have peace. And it should not happen when only we have the problem. But it should happen even before, after, during. And even if that happens, most oftenly, I think we will not be where we are today, and no life can be lost through such needs. So I just want to urge our churches, our Council of Elders, professionals, business community, to come together, the civil society, to love their country. And as much as we are advocating for rights and good governance, let's love our country. All groups, those who are in the government, those who are in corporate, those who are in business, let's come together to ensure that Kenya is stable. Kenya is a very economically potential country, geographically and also globally, where we are. If we work together genuinely, I think we will go far. So I think that is what should be done to the bereaved family and also the victims of extrajudicial killings. From time of immemorial, we have people who have lost their loved ones. Political elites have been assassinated before, as we read in history. TJ Mbuya, J.M. Kariuki, Pio Gama Pinto, coming all the way up to the recent one. We also have the disabled, who were disabled, and also ensuring that those who executed such skirmishes are brought to book by ensuring that justice is accorded to them, jailed, or ensuring that they are put at their right corner legally. That will be enough. That will be enough to enable the country grow. But in ensuring that we don't repeat repetition, I think we need to develop a system. We need to strengthen our systems and structures to spearhead peace and justice. That will be the only way to save our country, ensuring that we have stable systems which work. Because if we could have been having, we have a very good constitution, but the constitution, just as I had said, has many loopholes which need to be sealed so that we don't find loopholes which can make those who do evils escape the road to ensuring that justice is done to those whom they perpetrate those evil acts on. So that is the way we can ensure that our country works, Brother Ochino. Yeah.
If you have a wedding, baby shower, birthday party, or even a corporate event and you need media services, well, look no further than Safari Lens Media Production. Safari Lens Media Production is a media company that offers editing, videography, photography, graphic design services, and also live streaming. So if you have any event, contact Safari Lens Media Production. And I promise you, what I deliver, they'll do you good. They are professional, they offer professional services, and I'm sure you'll also like it. Sir Speaker, I think maybe there's some people who are watching, maybe they don't agree with you, but I'm sure these are some of the things that if implemented and moving forward, because it's quite saddening. And also, that perspective that people are living in fear, people are scared, there's tension in the country. I think it's not a good environment to be in. Anyway, tumeshukuru sana Speaker. Thank you for coming. And tukikupigia tena usikose kuja tafadhali, so that we can also play our small role for the society, so that they can also understand some of these things, because a majority of us young people hatujui venye the government operates, how some of these things operate. Some of us actually don't even care, and those who care, maybe they don't have enough information. But I believe through our platform they'll be able to know a thing or two as we go on. So before tumalize, maybe talk to your people, maybe to Bunge la Mwananchi, and also to people who believe in your cause as Bunge la Mwananchi.
Honorable members of the National People's Assembly, fellow Kenyans, I take this opportunity to thank each and everyone for maintaining peace and order despite the challenges which we face. I just want to urge our members to be very careful with their words, to ensure that their words unify more than disintegrate us. It is, and we have seen before, that even after every struggle, people must sit and dialogue. Why can't we start with sitting down and dialoguing rather than starting with the war, which makes some of us to be disabled, which makes some of us to lose their lives, which makes some of us to even businesses are destroyed. So why can't we start with peace and dialogue? Because when we start with the war, people go through a lot of economic damage and also emotional damage and also loss of lives. And this makes our country to be in a very awkward economic jeopardy. So it is upon us to come out and debate on the way we want our country to work. It is upon us to roll our sleeves and work for our country in the agricultural sector, in the trade sector, and also in tourism sector, in each and every economic sector, health sector, education. Our teachers must ensure that our students get, our pupils and also young Kenyans get quality education in every sector. The agriculture sector, the government must ensure that it does supply subsidized inputs to ensure that our farmers have outputs, enormous outputs in their farms. Trade, we must come up with good rules and regulations that will ensure that our MSMEs do businesses without any hindrance, because this will allow people to do their economic work efficiently. It is upon us to build our country. We will not build our country, we will not achieve economic liberation the way we achieved independence. We will not achieve economic liberation the way we achieved our multi-party democracy, which came unregulated. It is unregulated, though we achieved it, but we have seen that it is not regulated. So it is upon us to come together and ensure that those sectors which I've mentioned, Kenya will only grow again when we embrace manufacturing and technology. I'm very happy with the young generation who have embraced technology, and let us provide a stable environment for everyone to spearhead his or her agenda, so long as it ensure that we have a stable country. I'm yours, CPA Haggai Thenye, the National Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi.